Okay, welcome everybody to the Monday night chart chat where we are discussing stocks which have that 10x to 100x upside potential. We're already in the first week of June, and it looks like the summer is heating up. I think we're going to have a very, very exciting summer for a lot of our stocks which have been spending the last couple of months hibernating between February and pretty much now. So we've had about 3 months of hibernation, and looks like some things are starting to wake up. So let's kind of go through a couple of those charts. And again, keep in mind, everything we're going to be talking about tonight is opinion only. None of this is advice. It is these are all high-risk stocks. These are all clients of Wall Street Reporter. You could lose all your money investing in these stocks, and of course, do your own due diligence and all that other good stuff. So with that out of the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time and you want to make profits like these, we've had already 7 in the last 18 months now. 7 stocks that have increased over 10x. So between 10x and 50x, we've had a 50x, a 20x, and a bunch of 10, 15x's. And I think we've had about 8 stocks, 10 stocks that are up, I don't know, triples, quadruples, or whatever. Too many to count. But pretty much, yeah. So if you want to get in on those stocks, make sure you press the subscribe button. You subscribe to this channel. And of course, we're also on Telegram and Twitter, all that good stuff. You want to join our Discord, our Twitter, what's the other one? Whatever it is, Telegram. Click the link in the video description below to get access to those. And of course, yeah, of course, our website. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to talk about basically 5 stocks, 5 stocks I'm going to be talking about tonight, which are really right now, these things are really primed to move this week. And I think we're going to see new highs coming up over the next couple of months. I think this summer is going to be an amazing summer. A lot of people have given up on stocks. I mean, we really have had, I think, that capitulation in a lot of these penny stocks over the last few months. A lot of people have given up, and this is exactly the time when everything is usually the bottom, when people give up, right? And most importantly, when the companies have great fundamentals. So when you combine great fundamentals, investors giving up, that equals opportunity. Okay, so first chart we're looking at is TBP. This has been one of our big winners in the last few months. So we introduced this at, what is it, back over here. Was it here? I think it was, yeah. Time flies. No, was it here, I think, right? March. I think it was March. Yeah, March. Time flies. Anyway, so I think it was about 15 cents. It's moved to, yeah, I think it was 17 cents, 17 cents when we introduced TBP. Hit a high of a little bit over 50 cents last month. And it's had a bit of a pullback. Actually, the stock is behaving very, very well. And what you have right now is you have this kind of a pennant forming. It's actually pretty nice. And it looks like right now this thing is about to break out. I'm going to draw you a trend line just to give you kind of an idea of what I'm looking at. I'm going to, this is a little bit sloppy, but okay, whatever. I should make this a little bit thicker. Okay, there's a trend line. And that's more or less the triangle here. And as you can see, the stock is kind of breaking out of this triangle right here. And I think we're going to see some new highs coming up pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the 1-hour chart. Yeah, you can see this thing is starting to peak above the moving average, a 50-period moving average. So this thing is definitely on the move. Let's take a look if we can go even shorter. Let's go to 50 minutes. Yeah, stock is looking pretty good. I think we're going to see some nice moves in TBP over the next week. I would not be surprised if we're back at 45 cents, probably by, how long is it going to take to get to 45 cents? I'll tell you right now. I think it's going to take about, probably about a week or two to get back to 45 cents. And then it might hang around there for a little while, and then we can break out of there. So that is TBP. Let's take a look at SHG, or actually I should do SL in honor of the NASDAQ listing. This is actually our first next super stock that has gone to NASDAQ, and the chart is not working because, why is it not working? Because I guess it's just today's the first day. It's not on NASDAQ, so it hasn't caught up. Why is it not working? Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull up the Canadian chart. I think we got a lot of Canadians in the audience, so. But this is an American company now, SLHG. SLHG. Take a look at this chart. Okay, very important. We're above the moving average, 50-period moving averages, which has been pretty accurate. We just peaked above it today. Looks like a nice, we got kind of a nice formation happening here. I think we're kind of bouncing off this. You get the $7 Canadian is really kind of your, I think it's a big area of resistance, and I think we're starting to break out above that. And once it closes above that, you can kind of pivot off of that and catapult to new highs. So my prediction based on this chart is we're going to be, the next move in the stock is going to be roughly 2, 5, 3, I would say roughly $10 Canadian. So $10 Canadian, whatever that works out to US. Yeah, so we should see about 10 bucks. Probably the next, I would say 6 weeks. And then we can go much higher. But yeah, the next move is going to be easily 10 bucks. And it could make that run very, very quickly. Okay, Michael Mahendra. I'm surprised you still have the same photo. You usually have new photos every week. Bets. This has been the bane of my existence last month or so. So yeah, no, it's still halted. From what I understand is they're working on this merger, and I think they got to go through the shareholder vote. So it's going to probably drag on. Might drag on till September. This is what I'm hearing now. So it's supposed to be till end of May. Now it's September, but this is supposed to be, it's going to be a solid deal when it comes out. So, I'm basically stuck in this. It's not pleasant because, it's kind of, it's in, it's sort of, it's suspended animation. Nothing, so yeah, so basically we're stuck in this for a little bit of time. But my understanding is that once they get this merger with this Indian gaming company, then they're going to be primed for NASDAQ. So that's going to be the deal there. Did move. Yeah. No. These things, just because the stock goes onto NASDAQ, it doesn't mean it goes up that first day or even whatever. I think we're going to start seeing the move happen over the next, now pretty much. I think we're going to start seeing that move. I mean, again, you have to realize, and this is the thing which I know companies say, oh yeah, we're going to go on NASDAQ, and then all of a sudden the stock is. It's not what happens, because you're just on a bigger market. Now you're a small fish in a big pond. The good news is, now you can start attracting a lot more buying. So basically, they're going to have to essentially start marketing the stock. Of course, now they have institutional potential buyers. They have more U.S. retail buyers. So I think we're going to start seeing some of that action start to happen now. And again, the stock is coming out of a period of consolidation. So the chart is looking good. And I think we're going to start building steam right here. It really needs to close above the $7 Canadian range. Okay, next up we have TRIP, which is, let me clear this out. Okay, Red Light Holland. This thing is, looks like it's starting to make a move now. And it's built a very nice long base. Let me draw you a little trend line. Green. Okay. I would say pretty much that's kind of your base right there. You can see it's been support, resistance, and it's kind of bounced, pivoted off that base in the last 10 days or so, 10 trading sessions. We're above the 50-period moving average, 50-day moving average in this case, and this thing is starting to look really good. Yeah, as you can see, this thing is picking up some momentum. And yeah, it's actually a stock, TRIP. Yeah. So stock is starting to look good. I think we're going to see new highs in Red Light Holland. Okay. We're going to have Todd on next week, Wednesday. He's going to be on. We're going to have a live stream with TRIP next week. We've got to get an update. It's been a little while. So I know usually he's obviously working on something here. Because he's been quiet, and let's see what we hear next week. But the chart looks pretty solid. I mean, this thing looks pretty solid. If you were on a Telegram channel, you'd have gotten the alert on TRIP early this morning, and also fans. I put out a thing on fans and TRIP saying the charts looked amazing. And sure enough, we've seen a nice move in the stocks. We've had quite a few fake outs in the last few months, quite a few times. Put out a thing on Telegram saying, hey, this chart looks great, and then it pops and then it reverses. So, but it looks like it is starting to move. Did you see fans today? Did you see the Telegram? Were you on our Telegram this morning? That is the question, because you would have seen the Telegram chart thing. So let's take a look at fans. This is one of the most interesting charts in our group right now. Yeah, take a look at this. Let me clear the trend lines. Okay, so we got a couple of trend lines happening here, actually. We got this guy over here. Where is it? It is right about there. There you go. So it actually lines up perfectly. I mean, these things, it's amazing how accurate these kind of things are. So you got your support resistance on this trend line. Again, what you're seeing here is it's pivoting off this really beautiful looking base. You kind of have a double bottom happening the last between May and now. So over a month, it's had a nice little double bottom, and arguably you could say also back in December. So it's pivoting off these 65-cent kind of range here. It's bounced today in very nice close. Of course, look at this, as fans always does. It always doesn't quite, it always just leaves people a little hungry for more, always leaves people unsatisfied. So you got the moving average, is the resistance is right at like that 80-cent line, and you see it closes right just there. It's 79 cents. This is we've seen this for the last 6 months. But look at this. This is the 1 hour chart. If you look at the short term, which will probably affect trading tomorrow, you could see what's going on here. So it's broken above the moving average, bounced off that trend line, and you can see this nice volume, very nice solid buying volume today. This is a 1 hour chart. So this is, I would say this is pretty good. I mean, I think we're going to see a buck by next week. We're going to see a buck, and once fans does a couple of closes above $1, then we go to $1.50 range. So between here and $1, there's really no resistance. That's it. I would say this is actually it. There's really no resistance. Your next level of resistance is probably kind of in this $1.28. Yeah, I would say this kind of $1.25, $1.25. So between here and $1.25, forget about this dollar thing. $1.25 really is your next target on fans. There's really no resistance between here and $1.25. I mean, this thing can just run straight through there. So there's a couple of catalysts. There's the Canadian, the gaming thing that's going on right now, which is a good tailwind. They have the UK gaming license, which should be, I think sometime this month. So probably in the next couple of weeks, could be. They're going to have that UK gaming license, which I think is going to be a real positive for this. It's going to really validate the company. It's going to help out business also, of course. But that should be good. Peak. Yeah, Peak. They can't. New marketing. No. We only deal with the CEOs. We're not going to have anybody but JJ on here. I'm basically waiting for him to close this financing, and then, so until then, they're really in a quiet period. I mean, the stock is just kind of hanging out here. It's really, this financing stuff, sometimes it really sets these companies back. We're seeing this with Logic, which I think should be wrapped up any day now, this financing. But look at this chart. I mean, it's gotten destroyed here. But speaking of, I think this is actually a great opportunity here. If you look at it right here, we're pretty much right where we started last year with this. So you're getting it on the ground floor. I think once this thing starts running, you could see again. If you compare this thing to their peers, I mean, these guys are doing 40 million plus revenues. This thing should, it should be a $40 stock. It should be a $40 stock. But until they get this financing done, this thing is kind of stuck here. So it's really annoying. So let's take a look at HAPB. Here is a stock that, I've been saying this is a stock that's down since we introduced it. This is actually, it made a new high afterwards. So I think we introduced it around here at 70 something cents. It basically doubled, but then it pretty much, that was Valentine's Day essentially. That a lot of stocks peaked around that, and since then it's been in a downtrend, broke this key support line. Actually, I don't know where this is from, something else, but it looks good here. And now it's been bouncing in this kind of low range. I think this could be, if you look at what's happening right now, I think we've hit the bottom here. We're going to know, it's going to take a little while to know for sure. But I think, again, you can kind of see a little pennant happening here. It's a 1 hour chart. There's not a lot of action in the stock. It's hard to tell. But I think we're pretty much there. So we got Happy Fans looking amazing, Trip looking amazing, TVP looking fantastic, and Skylight. Let me try again. Let me see if I can pull up Skylight as the US. It's not working. No, it's not gonna. I don't know. I think it's gonna take a while till it starts kind of taking into account the reverse split, all that other stuff. But what is this? What are we looking at here? Oh, this is the 1 week. No, we're gonna look at the daily. Okay, so it's a very bullish setup for tomorrow. Closed above this moving average. Kind of have this again, this key reversal pattern. If you look at this pattern right now, this kind of upside reversal pattern, it's been pretty accurate. It's been pretty accurate. It worked over here. It worked over here. It failed over here. So, and where else did we see it working? Pretty much here. Here it worked. We're seeing it again. So I would say that upside reversal pattern with SHG has been very accurate. I think you got like a 70% chance of seeing new highs this week based on this. Again, this is chart talk. Let me go back to this over here. So we got those things are looking great. SLHG to 24 cents. Wow. Okay, so Sean Black, I think he's been in it. I think it was somewhere in that range, low prices. So of course this is before the reverse. So essentially you're up 8x, whatever, after the reverse or whatever it is. So it's still pretty good. Liquid Avatar, I'm only focusing really on the charts, which are looking amazing for tomorrow. But Liquid Avatar is actually looking pretty good. I think we're going to have the CEO on shortly. Let me go back to Liquid Avatar. The chart here is, look, it's you're basically building a bottom here in this 15-cent range. I mean, there were a lot of hot areas. It's just they got to catch that kind of next wave over here. I think we got to see what happens with us over the next week or so. But I think once we get kind of a little traction, I think we're going to see we could definitely see some new highs with this thing. So let me just close on the note of fans right now, the fans chart. Actually, let me just show you the FCO chart. FCO, Peter is going to be on tomorrow on our live stream. Chart is actually looking pretty strong right here. I think it's kind of pivoting upwards, a little flag breaking up onwards and upwards. The last 2 days, not that great looking, though. This is not too great. It should have broken above 20 cents. It really should have, but it didn't. So, but let me go back to fans. I think this is a super high probability trade. Again, nothing here as a device. I'm just talking basically based on the charts. Yeah, this thing is an amazing setup. And there you can see it's starting to move. And let me see, that's it. You really do not have any real resistance up until $1.25, maybe at $1, maybe, but really it's kind of in this $1.25 range. I think that's where you're going to have kind of like, your key resistance coming in. Once it breaks above $1.25, I think we're going to see new highs. My target on this stock is about $354. I mean, I think that's where it should go. So we introduced this at, I think, was it 20 cents? I forgot what was it. So it's been almost a year. Wow. So we introduced this stock at around 22 cents. So 22 cents, so it's been already a 10 bagger. It's pulled back, and here is another bite at the apple. And I think I would argue that this is actually a better time to get in, because it's really been validated. Look at where this stock is today. If you can get this at, what is it, 70 cents? The last time it was 70 cents was in December. Now, ask yourself, is the company worth more today than it was in December? I would argue yes. I would argue they've come a lot further. They got cash, they got all sorts of stuff happening, games in development, revenues coming in. Yeah, you're going to see some exciting things happening with fans. Oh, and also you got all the, the sports betting thing happening in Canada, which I think is going to be a boost. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a game changer for any of these companies. It's not like all of a sudden, but it could definitely be a boost. It's going to be a positive tailwind, for a lot of these, a lot of these names in the sports space. And speaking of which, I don't know how many Canadian gaming companies do you really have to choose from if you want to play that? Not a lot. There's really not that many. So fans is your RHT. Again, I'm a big fan of RHT. Their chart was last week. It was things looked like they were shaping up, and it's kind of it didn't quite break out. It's it's been a little bit frustrating here. I think we're gonna kind of hang out in this range a little bit. It's kind of hard to I don't know. It's hard to tell what's going on here. You got this. It was really starting to move up nicely up until last week, and then it broke down below this moving average. I don't know why. I mean, they had people, I guess, weren't as happy. They were expecting more from the results. I don't know. I mean, this company has hit so many amazing milestones in the last few months. Let me just clear this chart. Let me take a closer look at this. Yeah, I mean, this has really damaged this chart. You got this gap. It really damaged this chart. It really put this thing on a back foot. It's going to take a little while to repair this. Yeah, it's going to take a while. So this is going to be, I think, for a couple of weeks, it's going to be kind of treading water. That's kind of my opinion. Is again, I love the fundamentals of this company, but that gap has really kind of damaged the chart. Then again, we could see what happens. Who knows? I mean, this could change, but right now it's not. It is not looking mega bullish. Yeah, people were disappointed with the. I mean, I don't know what they were expecting. I mean, the company is. I don't think the past results really matter. I mean, what matters, I think, is what they've been doing since like March. So that's what I'm concerned about. The other stuff is like, that's old news. So that is the deal. Let me just go back to fans. Let me go back to fans, which is the chart of the day for tomorrow. Now, of course, with fans, any of you have been following, the chart chats for the last, 6 months or so, with fans, it always does usually the opposite the next day. It likes to frustrate investors. That's what this stock does. So, if I'm saying, hey, say this chart looks amazing, tomorrow you're going to see it probably close at 75 cents. Everybody's going to panic, and then 2 days later, it starts making the run to the new highs. That's the thing that this thing does. As you can see, it stops right at that moving average. It just likes to do that. It's just it just behaves in a weird way. J-Pow inflation. Yes, it is only penny stocks. We only talk about stocks which have 10x to 100x upside potential. Stocks like these stocks. We're looking for the next 10 baggers. We've already had 7 stocks that are up over 1,000% in the last 18 months, between 1,000 and 5,000%. We got fans up, 1,200%. ESE up, 1,400. What else? Peak 900%. Next Tech 1,400. Imagine AR 1,700%. Cytodyne up 2,000%. CBDT and Power up 5,000% from a nickel to $2.50. And I think we're going to have a couple more 10 baggers in the next, I think we're going to have a couple more stocks that become 10 baggers probably the next 60 days. We have a couple stocks that are close. We have a few that are close. So that'll give us a 10 bagger plus in the last 12 months or so. So that is the deal. Calvin Ting, we're close on Calvin Ting. Okay, that's it on this comment. Calvin Ting, the penny stock billionaire. Green will be back. I believe so. I think, and look at this, the green. This guy's thing is green. Yeah, I think we're going to see this summer. It's going to, a lot of people, I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, we're taking time. I've talked to a lot of Canadians though. I don't know, Americans don't really take time off. But I know I talked to a lot of guys, oh, we're at the lake house, or they're all on vacation or whatever it is. A lot of people, they think that this is going to be they think that this is going to be a quiet summer. It's going to be dead, but it is actually going to be just the opposite. I think we're going to see massive moves in a lot of these stocks. So you do not want to miss out on these moves when they happen. With that said, thank you everybody checking out the live stream, and I'll see you in the next live stream, maybe in a couple days, depending on what happens in the markets. I will see you then, and have a wonderful night. Make sure you press the like and subscribe button to join our channel and our Telegram, Twitter, all that other good stuff. Thank you.